So welcome everyone. Good morning, or it could be early, depending on where you are. We'll go ahead and get started on our backs, and then I'll do a little talking. So you can lie down. If you'd like, you can extend your legs out long. Otherwise, feel free to bend your legs, planting your feet wide on your mat and dropping your knees in. Or you can take the soles of the feet together, dropping your knees out. Finding somewhere that feels comfortable for you. You can take a few minutes to play with all three if you'd like, figuring out what works. And then maybe take your right hand to your belly, left hand to your heart. As you begin to slow down and deepen your breath. Maybe counting to 5 on the inhale, 5 on the exhale. Starting to allow yourself to come into this space physically and mentally. Preparing to really focus on your breath, on your body for the next hour. And hopefully be able to take that focus with you throughout your day. So we will be flowing, moving this morning. As always, do what works for you. So finding variations of poses, of shapes when you need to, coming into completely different poses if you need to. Our bodies are constantly changing, so what feels right today may not have felt right yesterday, and vice versa. Maybe something that feels different for tomorrow. So accepting where you are today and always. Sometimes our physical body, even if it feels like it's something we can do, it's something we just aren't mentally there for today. So again, needing to really work everything together, finding that combination of what the mind, the body, and the breath need. And trying to stay with these deep, full inhales and exhales as we move throughout our practice. Finding that connection to the breath, allowing the breath to help us move. Noticing on the exhales if the body can relax a bit, releasing a bit, letting go. And so as you're ready, we'll take a mental scan first of the physical body. And so again, as we notice that we're going to listen to our bodies, being gentle with ourselves, take that mental scan just from the top to bottom, bottom to top, and see how everything's feeling today. Noticing any tweaks, tightness, any areas that you may need to be especially gentle with today. Or perhaps notice an area that feels good, feels better than it did yesterday. Sometimes we focus too much on the negative, on what hurts. We don't always allow ourselves to find the positive. Think about what feels good. As you're ready, if those legs are not extended out long, start to extend those legs out long on your mat. Reach those arms up overhead, interlace the fingers, and flip those palms up away from you. As you give yourself a nice, big, full body stretch. Reaching up high with the arms, maybe point those toes. Really find some length. Feel like somebody's pulling you in either direction. Again, maintaining those full, deep breaths. And then keeping that left leg out long, extended on your mat or your space, wherever you are, start to hug that right knee into the chest. Taking those hands, those interlaced fingers around that right shin. And we will flex both feet. So toes on both feet active toward the sky. Really active through that left leg. Feel like you're pressing into a wall with that heel. And so that right knee can be hugged in toward the chest, or if you'd like, you can allow it to fall open a bit to the right so that it's coming up more toward the shoulder, giving yourself a bit more room to find some compression on that hip. Maybe make some rolls with that right ankle, or pointing and flexing that foot. And start to bring that knee back towards center if it's in, or if it's out toward the shoulder. Reach that right hand for the outside of the right foot, shin or thigh, and start to extend the right foot toward the sky. If that right hand is on the edge of the foot, you can use that press to gently press that knee toward the earth so that right leg is bent. And that left hand can rest on the hip or thigh, trying to keep that left side anchored. So we're in our half happy baby pose here. Opening up through that right inner leg, inner thigh, inner groin. Breathing. And from here, we'll start to bend that left leg, plant the left foot on the earth, and then we'll cross that right ankle over the top of the left thigh, keeping that right foot flexed. So you can stay right here. Otherwise, if you'd like, you can start to lift that left foot up off the earth as you interlace the hands around that left thigh or in front of the left shin. So sending that right arm through the space between the legs. As you hug the left leg in, you can gently use that right elbow to put some pressure against the right leg to change the sensation on this stretch. So perhaps you're feeling it on that outer right hip, and maybe not. Again, all of our bodies are different, so we're all going to feel these poses in different places. And this is also called back pigeon or reclined pigeon. Take a moment to notice if you're holding any tension in the neck, shoulders, jaw, anywhere that you can release with that exhale as you breathe through this hip stretch. And then we'll unlace those fingers. Take the arms out to your sides at a T. So stretching those arms out to your sides. Place that left foot back on the earth, keeping that right ankle crossed. And then drop those legs to the left. So that right foot is planting on the earth. The outer left leg plants down. And maybe you take your head, your gaze toward the right. Noticing if that right shoulder starts to come up, trying to keep it grounded. Just coming into our first gentle twist here. And still breathing. Gently start to come back up through center. Release that right foot from the left. Hug both knees in. Maybe wrap those arms around the shins. If you'd like, you can take a gentle rock side to side on the spine. Maybe roll the knees in circles so that that low back is rolling out on the earth. So if you are doing this, you're probably going in one direction. Switch sides and go the other direction. And then we'll keep that Well, left knee hugged in. Extend that right leg long. I almost forgot which one we did. So right leg extending long. Both toes, feet are flexed. Left knee is hugging in toward the chest, or you can allow it to fall open toward that left shoulder. Breathing. And then again, maybe starting to take some circles with that left ankle, maybe pointing and flexing that foot. And we'll start to come into that half happy baby as we reach that left hand for the outside of the left foot, shin or thigh. Extend that foot toward the sky as you bend through, trying to send that knee toward the earth. That right hand can gently anchor the right hip, right side down. Breathing into this left side. Noticing if you can tell any differences on this side from the first. And we'll start to bend that right leg, plant the right foot on the earth as you cross the left ankle over the top of the right thigh. Again, keeping that left foot flexed. You can stay right here if this is enough for you today. Otherwise, we'll start to hug that right leg in as we interlace the fingers around that right thigh or shin. Maybe use that left elbow to put a bit of pressure against the left leg. Breathing and taking that moment again to notice if there's any tension in the body that you can release. It's most often in the shoulders, jaw, neck. And we'll take those arms out to a T, palms plant down, face down, right foot back to the earth, and then begin to drop those legs to the right. So that outer right leg and left foot plant down, and maybe you take your gaze to the left. Again, shoulders are grounded. Breathing into this twist. And gently start to come back through center. Release the left foot as you hug both knees in. We're going to make our way to our seat. If you would like, you can either gently press yourself up or take some spinal rolls. So maybe your hands come to the backs of the thighs and you start to roll gently back and forth the length of the spine a few times. So you can make those rolls bigger, 3 to 5 times if that feels good for you. And we'll make our way into our cross-leg seated position. And we'll take a moment here to close the eyes. So the palms of your hands can be face down or up on your knees or thighs. Think about those sit bones grounding into the earth, sitting up nice and tall out of the hips. The spine is long. Shoulders are down away from the ears. The crown of the head is high to the sky. Our breath is deep and full. Inhale, reach those arms up overhead, fingers toward the sky. Maybe take your head or gaze up toward the hands. Hands come to touch. Exhale, hands through heart center. Let's take those hands back to the knees and take a neck stretch. So take the chin toward the chest. Inhale. Exhale as you gently roll that right ear toward the right shoulder. You can keep the hands on the knees or thighs. Otherwise, you can take those left fingers toward the earth next to the left leg or hip. And this may be enough, or you can reach that right arm up and over as you take those right fingers just above that left ear, putting a bit of pressure against the head to deepen that stretch a bit more. And then take a moment to tilt the chin toward the sky. Maybe tilt the chin toward the earth. So being really nice and slow in these movements with the neck. Maybe keeping that neck neutral at center is best for you. So find that spot that feels really nice as you wake up the neck here. And breathe. And if you have that right arm lifted, gently release that right hand. Slowly take that chin back toward the chest. Take a big inhale, feel that stretch on the back of the neck. And exhale, gently roll that left ear to the left shoulder. So again, hands can be on the legs, otherwise that right hand on the earth. And maybe you reach that left arm up and over to put a bit of gentle pressure just above that right ear. And take a moment to find that chin positioning for you. So toward the sky, toward the earth, at center. You may notice that on one side, it felt really nice to have the chin toward the sky, and on the other, toward the earth feels best. As we just work out all the kinks and tightness, breathing. And gently release that left hand if you have it up overhead. Slowly take the chin back toward the chest. And as you inhale, start to sweep those arms up overhead. Take that gaze up toward the hands, the fingers. Exhale as you twist to the right. Your right hand comes behind the low back. Left hand comes to the right knee. Inhale, tall spine, and exhale as you slightly twist, using that core. So you don't need to crank yourself into a deep twist here. Taking a full breath. And inhale, both arms up toward the sky through center. Exhale to the left. Left hand behind that low back, right hand to the left knee. Inhale, tall spine, and exhale as you gently twist through the core. Full breath. Inhale, both arms up to the sky, up through center. Exhale as you hinge at the hips and begin to fold forward, hands to the earth, to wherever feels good for you. So trying to keep those sit bones grounded. You can choose to keep the chest and the gaze lifted as you reach those fingers as far as feels comfortable. Otherwise, with an exhale, you can start to round, releasing the head, the upper back. Breathing, again, maybe with your exhale, try to reach those fingers out a bit further. It may even be only a millimeter, and that's okay. So again, we're all feeling this in different places, maybe the hips, maybe the low back, maybe through the arms as you reach those arms forward. And gently start to walk the hands to the right. That left hand may come on top of the right. That left sitting bone may want to rise up. If it does, back off a bit so that you can keep it grounded. As we breathe into this stretch on the left side. And walk those hands back through center over to the right, left. So maybe that right hand comes on top of the left. Again, right sitting bone stays grounded. Breathe into the expansion of those right ribs. Hands back through center. And gently walk those hands back in, coming back to your seat. And from here, we'll come into our tabletop. So coming to hands and knees. Hips over the knees, shoulders over the wrists. Fingers are spread wide. If that's too much pressure on the wrists, you can always walk those hands a few inches toward the top of your mat, or you can turn those fingers out toward the sides. Inhale, drop the belly as you send the tail and the gaze up. So we're arching the spine, coming into cat pose, cow pose, cow. Exhale, round the spine, press the earth away, chin toward the chest, coming into our cat. Inhale, arching up. And exhale, round. Take a few more rounds on your own. Moving at the pace of your own breath. Noticing as the breath and the body connect as one. Noticing how that spine feels as you warm it up, mobilizing through each and every vertebra. After your next cat, come back to your flat back, tabletop position. And we'll take some spinal balances here. So straighten out that left leg, press that left heel back and lift those left toes up off the earth. Left leg is extended out behind us. Engage the core. You can stay right here. Otherwise, if you'd like, you can reach that right arm out in front. So that right hand, it's like you're going to shake hands with someone. The thumb is toward the sky and the knife edge or pinky side of the hand is toward the earth. You're finding length, feeling as if you're being stretched from the left foot through the right fingertips, flat back, core engaged. And as we exhale, let's bring that knee and elbow to meet at center. So rounding that spine again as in cat. Extend the arm and leg back out. And in, out. Once more, in, out. And release that hand, release that leg back to your tabletop. Take a breath. Switching sides, extend that right leg out long. And maybe reach that left arm out in front. So again, feeling all that length as you extend, as you engage the core, find your balance, your breath. And left elbow, right knee, meet at center, round. Extend, round, extend, in, out, and release. Left hand, right knee. Curl those toes. We're going to start making our way to stand. So coming into a down dog, curling those toes, start to lift the knees. And then first begin to send those hips back, the torso, the heart toward the thighs. And then begin to send that tail toward the sky. As you slowly start to straighten through the legs, you can keep a slight bend to the legs, and you can also pedal out through those feet as we come into this first down dog. So that tail is extended toward the sky, the spine is long, the fingers are still spread wide. Slightly curling those fingertips or putting the pressure more between the thumb and first finger to alleviate any wrist pressure. The head is heavy. You can shake the head, yes, no. From here, we'll start to walk those feet up to meet the hands at the top of our mat. Coming into a forward fold ragdoll position. So deeply bending the knees, the belly can rest on the thighs. Again, the head is nice and heavy, relaxed. Fingers can be on the earth, or you can grasp opposite elbows.
And take a gentle sway side to side. Maybe slightly bending one knee and then the other as you sway. Feeling all that release through maybe the legs, maybe the low back, upper back, neck. So coming back to stillness, releasing those elbows if you have a hold of them. And we'll begin to roll one vertebra at a time as we come all the way to stand. Head is the last to rise. As you find your way into your mountain pose, Tadasana. Take a moment here to close the eyes, to settle back into the breath, to the body. Notice as all four corners of the feet ground into the earth. Think about lifting the kneecaps and engaging the quads, engaging that core, sending those shoulders away from the ears. Palms can face forward or at your sides, whatever feels best for your shoulders, your arms. Noticing this tall, powerful stance here, thinking about how different this is than your posture on a typical basis when you're not really engaged and paying attention. Noticing how confident, how powerful, how tall you feel in this mountain pose. Taking those full deep breaths. Inhale, circle, sweep those arms all the way up overhead. Reach those fingers high. Maybe gaze up at the hands, and as you exhale, you can take a slight back bend, gazing up at the sky. Inhale back through center, hands touch. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. So press the air away with the hands, hinge at the hips, come all the way down, fingers to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins or thighs. Find a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step that left foot back. So we're in a runner's lunge. That right leg is bent, hands framing that right foot. And then we'll gently drop that left knee to the earth. As we make our way into a low lunge, you can take your hands to that right thigh or inhale those arms all the way up, reaching those fingers for the sky. Exhale, bend at the elbows as you cactus open those arms, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Maybe gaze up as you open up through the heart, chest. Exhale, frame the right foot with those hands on the earth. Coming into a half split as we send the hips back and begin to straighten out that right leg. So the right foot can stay planted, or you can take the toes toward the sky. You can walk the hands back closer to the body. Inhale up on those fingertips, find a flat back. And as you exhale, you can fold, rounding over that straight right leg. You can always keep a slight bend in that right leg. And slowly start to rebend into the right leg, framing that foot with the hands. Curl those left toes, lift that left knee. We're coming into a three-legged dog. So send that right foot all the way back and up behind you. So you can always come into a regular dog first and then send that right leg up. And we're going to stack the hips as we bend through that right leg. So right knee toward the sky, heel toward the seat, maybe gaze under that right arm. And bring those hips back through center. Shift forward with the upper body as you bring that right knee toward the nose. And step that right foot back through between the hands. Runner's lunge. Ground that left hand as you inhale the right arm up. Taking those right fingers toward the sky for a dragonfly twist. You can always drop this left knee to the earth, once again, if you prefer. Exhale, right hand to the earth, framing that right foot. Step that left foot up to meet the right, coming into a forward fold. Slightly bend the knees as you inhale those arms, circle sweep all the way up, standing up tall, hands above the head toward the sky. Hands touch, exhale, hands to heart center. Taking all that on the other side, inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right leg back, coming into that runner's lunge and dropping that right knee to the earth as you inhale the arms up for your low lunge. Fingers reach toward the sky. Breathing all through these movements. Exhale, cactus the arms as you bend at the elbows, shoulder blades squeeze together, maybe gaze up. Exhale, hands to the earth, framing that left foot, straightening out that left leg so those hips go back. Left foot can stay grounded or toes toward the sky. Again, those hands can stay more framing the foot or coming back toward the body as you inhale up onto those fingertips and exhale as you fold. Feeling that stretch in the back of the left leg. Gently start to rebend. Replant that left foot, hands framing the foot. Curl those right toes and lift the right knee as you send that left leg all the way back to that three-legged dog. Left foot toward the sky. And we'll open up here as we bend that left leg, left knee toward the sky, heel toward the seat. Maybe gaze under that left arm. Coming back through center with the hips. Start to shift forward with the arms, the upper body, bringing that left knee toward the nose and stepping that left foot between the hands. Right hand grounds down as you inhale the left arm toward the sky. Twisting to the left. Again, you can always drop that right knee. And exhale, left hand down. And gently step that right foot up to meet the left forward fold. Slightly bend the knees, inhale, circle sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a moment of breath. You can always take breaks wherever you are. Find what works for you. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left leg steps back. This time we're coming up into a high crescent lunge. So left knee stays lifted. Hands can come to that right thigh, or you can inhale those arms all the way up. Fingers, arms, hands toward the sky. Notice that those shoulders are starting to hike up by the ears. Try to release them a bit. Maybe taking the feet wider on the mat or closer together to find your balance, your stability, your strength, your shape. Gently release those hands. Take them to the low back and interlace the fingers. As you inhale, maybe take your gaze up, again squeezing those shoulder blades. On an exhale, we'll start to hinge at the hips. Folding forward, that right shoulder coming toward the right knee. So you can keep the hands, the interlaced hands at the low back. You can take the hands toward the sky to feel a bit more of a shoulder stretch. Or you can release the hands to the earth. Breathing. If the hands are at the sky, first release them to the low back. And then you can release the fingers, framing that right foot with the hands. And this time, your choice, as always. You can either step that left foot up, or you can come into a half split at first, or a standing split as you ground into that right foot. Pop that left foot up off of the earth. So we are grounding into the right foot. Maybe you're just on the fingertips. Maybe walk those hands back so that you fold deeper over that standing right leg. The left foot can be at a hover on the earth, just a few inches above it. It can be a few feet so that your legs look like an L. Wherever feels good for you as you feel a bit of strength building in this right leg. Exhale, release that left foot to meet the right, forward fold. Slightly bend the knees, inhale, circle sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Taking that on the other side. So again, finding your adjustments. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins or thighs, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step that right foot back, runner's lunge. Right knee is lifted. Make your way to your high crescent lunge, hands to that left thigh or fingers all the way up to the sky. Again, dropping those shoulders, but reaching those arms up, adjusting the stance of your legs, your feet, finding your breath and your balance. As you exhale, press the air away with the hands, interlace those fingers behind the low back. Try to find the opposite interlace, so taking the awkward thumb on top this time. As you inhale, maybe you gaze up at the sky. And as you exhale, start to hinge forward, left shoulder toward that left knee. Again, hands can remain at the low back, or you can take them toward the sky or to the earth. And breathe. If the hands are at the sky, gently take them to the low back and then release the fingers to the earth. As you prepare for your standing split, grounding into that left foot, hopping that right foot up to wherever is comfortable for you. So we're active in both legs. That right foot is flexed as well. Maybe walk the hands back so that you draw that upper body closer to the standing left leg. Breathing. And gently release that right foot to meet the left, forward fold. Slightly bend the knees as you inhale, circle sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a moment upright here, take a breath, recenter. And we're coming into a warrior two. We're actually just going to step back. So step that left foot back, taking that left foot so that it's parallel to the back of your mat. Right toes are still pointing toward the top of your mat, and our bodies are facing that long end. Begin to bend into that right leg and take those arms out to a T. So reaching those right fingers toward the front of your mat, left fingers toward the back. Gazing over the right fingers. And the back left foot, that heel can go out a bit with the toes coming in a little bit. It doesn't need to be exactly parallel. With each exhale, maybe bend a bit deeper into that right leg. And notice that all four corners of both feet are firmly grounding down. You are strong through the feet, all the way up through the legs, the core, the arms, the mind, and the breath. Notice that right knee isn't collapsing inward. It's going out toward the pinky toe side of the foot. Flip that right palm toward the sky and reverse as you send that left arm down the left leg. Right arm reaches up overhead. Big side stretch for that right side of the body. Let's start to straighten that right leg, coming into a reverse triangle. Both legs are straight. And bring those arms back to a T, setting up for triangle. You can bring that back foot in a bit if you'd like to start kicking those hips toward the left. Reach those right fingers forward and drop those right fingers to the right shin, thigh, or the earth. Left fingers toward the sky for triangle. Pretend
imagine that you have a wall at your back. So our upper bodies are nice and upright. Trying not to put too much weight in that right hand. So really using the core to help keep us in this shape here. Breathing. On an inhale, bring both arms up toward the sky, palms face out, arms are at a V. Turn those right toes to face the long end of the mat. So now both toes are facing the long end, your entire body is facing the long end. Our bodies look like a X, with those legs wide, arms at a V. Bring those hands to touch above the head. Turn both toes out toward the edges of the mat. And as you exhale, bring the hands to heart center, bend through those legs, coming into a prayer squat. And breathe. Finding that length in the spine, feeling that strength in the legs. Again, trying not to let those knees collapse inward. Holding here. And let's slowly start to fold forward. So gently begin to straighten out those legs. Hands come to the earth. Wide leg forward fold. You can turn those feet back so that the toes are facing the long end of the mat, if that feels better. You could even turn those toes inward. Heels out to find a bit more of a stretch on the outer calf. Inhale, half lift. Just come up onto those fingertips to find that flat back. And exhale, fold forward. Coming all the way back to stand. You can take your hands to your hips, or you can slightly bend the knees and circle sweep those arms all the way back up to that big 5-pointed star X position. Hands touch, exhale, hands to heart center. We are simply switching to our warrior 2 to face the back of our mat. So turn those left toes to point toward the back of your mat. Begin to bend into that left leg. Take those arms out to a T. Right foot is parallel to the top of the mat with the toes slightly turned in, heel out. Gazing over those left fingertips. And again, maybe with your exhale, bending a bit deeper into that left leg. Keeping that left knee strong. Strong through our entire bodies, our minds, our breath. Just making little adjustments. And we'll flip that left palm toward the sky, reverse, right arm back, left arm reaches up overhead. Start to straighten that left leg out, reverse triangle. Arms come to a T. Maybe that back foot comes in a bit as we kick those hips toward the right, reach those left fingers forward, and drop the left fingers to the left shin or thigh, or the earth, right fingers to the sky as we come into our triangle. Breathe. Inhale, both arms up, coming back into that 5-pointed star or X. Turn those left toes toward the long end of the mat. Hands touch. Exhale, prayer squat, hands to heart center, bending through the legs. Knees are strong. I forgot to tell you to flip those toes back out toward the edges. So adjusting as you need to. And again, slowly start to take the hands to the earth as you gently straighten out the legs, coming into a wide fold. You can adjust those feet again so that the toes point toward the long end. We'll take a twist here. Plant that left hand just below the face and inhale the right arm toward the sky, gently twisting to the right. Exhale, right hand replaces the left on the earth. Inhale, left arm up, twisting to the left. Exhale, left hand to the earth. Hands to your hips, or simply slightly bend the knees as you circle those arms to come all the way back up. Hands to heart center. You can take mini steps or one big step to come back to the top of your mat.
And we will take one more forward fold here as we inhale the arms up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. We're making our way to our seat. We're coming into a toe squat. So start to bend the knees and drop the hips as you come all the way down, raising those heels up off of the earth. So we're balancing on the balls of our feet. You can keep your hands, your fingers on the earth, or you can bring your hands up to heart center. As you breathe, notice that you're keeping that spine nice and tall. So both feet, ankles may be shaking, and that's okay. We're building the strength in our ankles and the tiny bones in our feet. And we'll gently release those hands to the earth as we make our way onto our seat. Extend those legs out long in front of you. Hands can press next to the hips. Flex those feet so the toes are pointing toward the sky. Again, pressing those hands into the earth to find that nice tall spine. And let's inhale the arms up overhead. Reach those fingers high. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Allow those hands to come wherever they may. So they may reach the feet, the toes, maybe the shins, the thighs. You can take them to the earth next to the legs. Wherever you are, find length in your spine as you think about sending the chest forward, pulling that chest toward the knees, the feet. And then on an exhale, if it feels okay, you can begin to round, releasing the head, the upper back, the low back. Coming into a nice forward fold here. Maybe your forehead meets the knees, maybe it's far from them, and that's okay. And gently start to walk the hands back up the legs. We will take a twist. Let's leave that left leg extended out long, bend to the right. So plant that right foot to either the inside or the outside of the right thigh. So that right knee is toward the sky. Right hand comes behind the low back on the earth as you inhale the left arm up and begin to twist to the right. That left arm can hug the right leg, or you can take the upper arm to the outer right thigh. So again, trying to keep that spine nice and long, maintaining your breath, trying not to collapse back into that right hand. It's just there for support in your twist. Being gentle on the neck, breathing, and gently come back through center, switching sides, extend that right leg out long. Then that left leg, plant the left foot to the inside or outside of the right thigh. Right toes stay flexed toward the sky. Left hand comes behind that low back as you inhale the right arm up. And exhale to the left. Either hugging or taking that outer right arm to the outer left leg. Inhale, tall spine, and exhale as you twist. And breathe. Gently come back through center. Plant both feet on the earth, knees toward the sky. And let's use our core to make our way to our backs. So you can keep your hands on the earth next to the hips. You can take the hands to the backs of the thighs, or you can reach those fingers out in front of you. Those arms are straight, reaching out in front as you slowly roll down one vertebra at a time. So again, slowly, deliberately, really feeling that core. And once you make it all the way to your back, take a breath.
Start to walk those feet toward the seat. Knees are still pointing toward the sky. Maybe you graze your heels with your fingertips. We'll come into one bridge pose here. So as you inhale, press into the feet and lift the hips, the thighs toward the sky. Think about sending those knees forward. Your arms can stay at your sides here, or you can interlace those fingers underneath that low back and maybe gently roll those shoulders under, helping to expand that chest and heart, helping you to lift higher if it feels good, safe for you. Breathing. And gently start to release all the way back down. And you can start to take those feet a little bit wider on your mat as you windshield those knees back and forth. So dropping those knees to the right, left, right, left. And then the next time your knees are at the right, keep them there. Maybe extend those arms out to a T. Maybe take your gaze to the left. If this feels like enough, you can stay here. If you'd like to find a little bit of a deeper stretch in this reclined twist, you can take that right foot, that right outer ankle to the top of that outer left thigh, just above that left knee. So gently put some pressure on that left leg, sending it closer toward the earth. And breathe. And you could also have those arms at a cactus, goalpost shape, so bent at the elbows. If that feels better than having the arms at a T. Find what works for you in each and every pose, even if it's not something I suggest. This is your body, your practice. And gently start to come back through center, release those knees to the left. Maybe take your gaze to the right. Again, this may be enough, or you can take that outer left ankle to the top of that outer right thigh. Noticing the difference on each side. One side may come down a bit deeper than the other. Breathe. Relax. And gently come back up through center. Hug those knees into the chest. Wrap yourself up into a nice ball. If you'd like, you can come into a full happy baby here. So reaching the hands for the outside of the feet, shins, or thighs, or take the hands to the insides of the legs and wrap those peace fingers, your first finger and middle finger, around the big toes. As you start to open up the legs, draw the knees toward the earth, feet toward the sky, bending those legs deeply. Try to keep that tailbone grounded, as well as the shoulders. The entire length of the spine is grounding into the earth. And here you can take a gentle rock from side to side. If you'd like, you can straighten out one leg and then the other, or perhaps try to straighten both legs and bend. So taking any little small movements here that feel good for you. And then as you are ready, start to bring the knees back in toward the chest and begin to extend those legs out long on your mat or on your space as you begin to prepare for your final resting pose. As you close the eyes, so if those legs are extended out long, maybe take them as wide as the mat, allowing those feet to simply drop open to either side. Arms can be along your side or they can be at a T. Roll the head a few times side to side, find a nice neutral spot in which to rest. And begin to release any residual tension left in the body. Relaxing through the temples, separating the teeth and unclenching the jaw. Maybe take a swallow to help soften through the throat, the neck. Relaxing through the shoulders, upper arms, forearms, hands and the fingers. Relaxing through the chest, the belly, the low back, the glutes, the hamstrings, thighs, knees, the calves, feet and toes. With each exhale, allow your body to feel a bit heavier as it sinks deeper into the earth. And giving yourself these few moments to really integrate your practice, to find some restoration and relaxation, and to just be. If you have the time and you would like to stay longer, feel free to stay in this Shavasana for as long as you would like, 3, 5, 7, 10 minutes. Otherwise, if you only have this hour and are ready to begin moving on with your day, start to deepen your breath. As you gently begin to wiggle your fingers, your toes, and to roll your wrists and your ankles. Taking small movements, gentle, as you reawaken. Maybe take the arms up overhead for a full body stretch, reaching back into full awareness with the body, the breath, the mind. As you're ready, you can begin to bring the knees into your chest and make your way to your favorite side, coming into sleeping child's pose as you rest your head in your bicep pillow. And take a few more grounding breaths here, as well as a moment of gratitude for taking the time to come to your mat this morning, or whatever time it may be. A moment of gratitude for the day ahead, for all your blessings in life, big and small, for your loved ones, and for all the good there is in the world. Knowing that through your love, your kindness, your compassion, you too play a part in contributing to this goodness, not only towards others, but to yourself. As you're ready, gently begin to press yourself up into your easy cross-legged seated position, trying to keep the eyes closed. Again, finding that connection to the breath, knowing that at any time you can come to these breaths of intention, of awareness, to help you find a sense of peace, presence, clarity. And we'll inhale the arms up overhead, reach those fingers high to the sky. Hands touch, exhale, hands through heart center. May there be compassion in your thoughts. May there be kindness in your words and actions. And may there be love and peace in your hearts. Namaste. Thank you all for joining me in practice this morning. I hope everyone has a wonderful day moving forward. And I hope to practice with you again.